Hi, this is Érika from Small Robot Studio. Today I'm gonna show you how to sculpt realistic lips in Nomad Sculpt and the differences that make them unique for each person. Hey, make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. Otherwise, you might be missing out on the many tutorials that we release for free each week here on YouTube. We tend to place our attention on the lips, but forget about the structure where they sit. I call this region the mouth mask. It starts around the bottom of the nose, hugging the wings, follows down the nasolabial furrow, also known as the laughing line. At the height of the mouth, it curves to the inside and connects at the start of the chin with this curved rhythm. It's easy to remember it because it looks like a sad face. By the way, this mouth mask is quite flexible and it can be heavily distorted for expressions. You can learn about it on my character design video. A common mistake is to make the lips sit on a flat base. This makes no sense, because the skull makes a cylindrical shape with the teeth. The mouth doesn't sit on a perfect cylinder either, because the walls of the cylinder aren't flat. They protrude to the sides, so it's more like an inflated cylinder. There are muscles and skin padding this area, so going simpler, we can abstract this with a front plane and two side planes with a division pointing up and down. Not so different from the nose's basic box. The horizontal division is where the crease of the mouth sits. The lips also share this three-plane logic. The crease line follows these three planes with a subtle change of angle at the very end. The corners of the mouth don't touch the laughing line. There's a distance between them. We could trace an inner mouth mask from this corner to the bottom corner of the nose. Within this space, the muscles responsible for expressions overlap, which creates a visible bump we know as nodes. It kind of has a bean shape with a rounded top belly. We all share these planes, but the proportions vary a lot. For instance, the distance between the landmarks, like between the nose and the top lip, the bottom lip to the sad face, or even between the corner of the mouth and the outer mouth mask. The arch of the sad face could be flatter or rounder. From a side view, the prominence of the tooth cylinder will affect the angle between the nose, lips, and chin. As always, take time to break down your reference with these simple planes and diagrams. These differences play a big role in making each mouth unique. Now we can focus on the star of this region, the lips. They are like teardrop-shaped pillows, plus an extra one shaped as a heart on the top lip. The top of this heart pillow connects to the walls of the philtrum, which I talk about in detail in the nose video. The top lip is wider and boxier. The bottom lip is slightly shorter and rounder. From a side view, going down from the philtrum to the top lip, we have an S rhythm with a sharp corner. The bottom lip flows down into the origin of the chin with a round and flowy S-curve. By the way, due to the cylinder where the lips sit, from a side view, the lips are gonna look very short, so don't let this fool you. Knowing this, we can move on to sculpting. Just like my other videos, I've made the step-by-step file and the sculpt of the main planes of the mouth available to our Patreon supporters. A big shout out to you, my friends! Join us and enjoy more rewards at patreon.com/smallrobotstudio or buy the separate assets in our Gumroad store. Alright, I'll start with an orthographic camera. We'll create a sphere with a low resolution and add a couple subdivision levels with multi-resolution. With the project tool from a front view, I'll create a rectangle and flip it so the white area is intact and the rest will be flattened. With the gizmo, I'll flatten this mesh on the Z-axis so the cylindrical shape isn't as pronounced. And for reference, with an extra sphere in low resolution, I'll block in the bottom of the nose because its size will influence the proportions of the mouth mask. I'll now carve the crease thinking of the three planes. I'll use an inverted inflate tool with a pointy fall-off. If you're having trouble controlling your lines, use dragging distance or smooth stroke inside the stroke menu to stabilize your strokes. Make the crease below the most prominent area, because that's where the top lip sits. With less intensity, I'll carve for reference the mouth mask, the bean shape for the notes. Adjust the shapes if needed with the move or drag tool. Now with the crease tool, I'll set the diameter to the size of the stroke I made for the crease and carve deeper. I want to go deep, so I'll increase the intensity of my stroke with the intensity multiplier inside the stroke menu. Don't forget the slight angle variation on the corners. To obtain a nice overlap, I'll mask the bottom lip, reverse the mask and pull the mesh up to the crease. Then reverse the mask and do the same for the upper lip. Now change your camera to perspective. Let's work from top to bottom. With the crease tool set to add, pull out the walls of the filtrum and the top silhouette of the upper lip. With the clay tool, build up the outer sides of the filtrum walls. They retreat back like slides. For the depression of the filtrum, use the move tool set to normal and push it back. Then add the volume of the upper lips. The hard pillow usually has more volume than the side ones. Depending on the volume of the lips, the inflate tool can be an ally. If you overinflate, use the flatten tool instead. Let's not forget the bean shape volume of the notes. Moving on to the bottom lip, the process will be very similar. Mask the top lip, so we don't worry about changing it by mistake. Carve up its silhouette with the crease tool and reduce the intensity of the stroke as you get closer to the corners. With clay or even inflate, add volume to the pillows. Check your reference to see the angle between the top and bottom lip from the side view. Overall, the area between the bottom lip and the start of the chin recedes, so shape it with your clay brush. Similar to what you did for the filtrum, use the move tool in normal mode and push back the bottom center of the lower lip. From now on, it's all adjustments of shape and proportion. Now that everything is in place, you'll notice what works and what doesn't. Revisit the last steps with two objectives, improving and refining. Take advantage of multi-resolution. If you need to improve an area, go to lower subdivision levels. If you are refining and adding detail, go to higher resolution levels. Define your corners with the crease tool. For the texture, use a combination of the inflate and crease tool. Avoid symmetrical or parallel lines. The texture follows the shape of the pillows, and they fade before crossing the whole lip. Alright, here we go, the final result. Stay tuned for our next video in the series, the ear. And we're also working on a longer course putting together all this knowledge to sculpt a complete realistic human head. I hope to see you there! That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.